Hello, Interwebs. My name is Francis X.files, and this is the X.Files. Shut up, Sampson. You nearly ruined my first episode with all your negativity.
You know, I happen to think this show could use another point of view, or at the very least, somebody to call you out. By the way, I saw your first episode.
What'd you think?
Why'd you Photoshop us on FBI cards in the intro?
Because we're part of a little conspiracy club I invented. FBI stands for the Francis Bureau of Investigation.
The FBI already exists. That's taken.
You stole my idea. Who runs this FBI?
The government.
It's a conspiracy! Speaking of the government, today I'm going to be covering the truth behind John F. Kennedy. Title card!
This isn't a conspiracy, Francis. It was Lee Harvey Oswald who killed him.
Spoilers? Shut up, Sampson! Sorry about him, Interwebs. He's already being a negative Nancy.
Better than a fanatical Francis.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to
Go to the conspiracy corner!
When most conspiracy theorists talk about JFK, they debate the cause of his assassination. I'm here to tell you the truth. His life was a conspiracy too, but for the whole story, we have to go back in time to 15th century France. This time period marked the end of the Middle Ages and the start of the Renaissance. So as you can predict, I'll be talking about a load of famous people. After World War II, the US government came up with a plan to travel through time to search history for what they considered to be the perfect president. Settling on a Frenchman from the Renaissance by the name of Dr. Jacques F. Kennedy, the government kidnapped this man and cloned him. With the new embryo, they took their creation back to the future and implanted the child, choosing to leave him with the affluent Kennedy family, and subtly grooming him to be president. What happened to Jacques? Why didn't they take him? He was already embedded in the time stream, and so they felt taking him out would mess things up. They were very wrong. One of the government agents screwed up and didn't sedate him enough, so he was conscious near the end of the procedure and overheard what was happening. Unable to forget, he sought out a young Nostradamus for guidance. The famous future predictor told Mr. Kennedy about the unfortunate fate of his future clone. Feeling the need to intervene, Kennedy's new goal was to make it to the future. Nostradamus pointed him in the direction of the famous artist and inventor Leonardo Da Vinci. So Kennedy traveled to Italy to find Da Vinci, and having already started the project, Kennedy's urgent mission was the push he needed to complete the time machine. Arriving in England in 1963 because the coordinates were off, the time machine broke down. Fortunately, Kennedy was able to fly it to the United States. Tracking down Lee Harvey Oswald on the day of the assassination, Kennedy caught Oswald and knocked him out cold. Here's the twist. Kennedy didn't even change history. See, Lee Harvey Oswald was actually working for JFK as a secret service in charge of his protection that day. The only two people who knew this were him and the clone JFK. After having knocked out Lee Harvey Oswald, Kennedy took up the gun himself and shot the clone.
So you're saying JFK assassinated himself?
Yep.
And pinned the murder on Lee Harvey Oswald?
Yep.
Where do I even begin to tell you how stupid all that sounded? First off, where did this guy Kennedy end up?
Well, the government cloning process left Jacques with regenerative superpowers, whereby he could form a new body after death. He can only do this 13 times, though. That was just a little fun fact I learned to mention.
Skirting around the question, Francis. Wait, that sounds familiar. Where did he end up?
While he was in England, his time machine's chameleon circuit broke, and he got stuck in the police box. Since the assassination of that brainwashed clone, he took that box and has been traveling through time, meeting new friends and saving the world countless times. Getting back to my theory...
Doctor Who!
Dr. Kennedy Sampson. At least you remembered he was a doctor.
No. Haven't you ever heard of Doctor Who? Longest running sci-fi series ever?
I know not of what you speak.
You really need need to get caught up on your pop culture, Francis.
You see, it bears a resemblance to Canadien. Perhaps it was based on him.
Don't be ridiculous. There's no way Doctor Who was based on this guy.
When did your little TV show first air?
Let me look it up. All right. November 23rd, 1963.
Sampson? The Kennedy assassination was November 22nd, 1963. You know what this means? I'm right, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right.
What?
I'm right, I'm right.
I don't have time for this. I'm gonna go make a phone call. Be back in a little bit.
Okay. I'll never understand why Sampson insists on making all the calls out of a phone booth. Sometimes he takes a really long time to get back. I ought to buy him a cell phone for Christmas or something. Well, Interwebs, this has been another episode of the X-Files. I'm Francis X.Files, and remember, the truth is in